Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome to the Independent Producers Organization live showcase. And today, I guess we're going to be still into politics because it's so much occupying everyone's thinking now. But first, I had a couple things I wanted to show first. First thing is this lady, this woman. I don't know if we can.
You want me to hold
it this way? There. That's all right.
You want me to hold it for you?
Her name is Major General Laura Yeager, the first woman to lead a U.S. Army Infantry Division. I think that's really kind of awesome. I wanted to mention that. And from there, I wanted to go to this lady, which they call a lioness. Jessie Miller. That's her name, Jessie Miller.
Okay.
And she was such a problem to the sheriff in Prineville when she was a teenager. She was always getting in fist fights and everything else. She was just perfect for the Army, but she was always getting into fist fights. And he stopped and talked to her, and he said, "You either have to join the Army or I'm going to arrest you." So she agreed to join the Army, and she did that. She talked about that it was very difficult to be in the first basic training. It was very difficult for her, and she made it through that. And then she went to where she was actually with guys to do with the engineers in the 1st Engineer Battalion, I think it was, and they were going over to Iraq. That was the main place where she was going to be. And she somehow managed to get past all these difficult situations, being up against all the men that were there, and she got to where they finally called each other brothers and sister, I guess. And what happened is they moved her to, as they were going into Iraq and going through there, they discovered that they needed her to talk to the women that were there, because the men can't talk to the women. The women are conditioned to not ever say anything to male soldiers. So she was able to talk to women. She was able to find out where there were weapons and communications and different things like that. And that's really was her value to the Army and to the Marines that she were with. And she said this is just made her a better person for her entire life. And they called her a lioness. You'll notice they got the University of Oregon O there. I don't know if that means anything or not, but it's there. But I just wanted to mention that. Jessie Miller, great Army, and she was put out to do physical combat with an infantry in part.
Good.
Okay.
From Prineville, Oregon, huh? Wow. Interesting.
Okay. Whatever it is in the Army, she did it.
Interesting.
And it certainly made her a better person, I'm sure.
Well, thinking about persons and whatever, I just got back. As you can see, I'm sort of in uniform, so to speak, and I just got back from the VA here in Portland. Yeah, in Portland, and I'll tell you something. As I walked in the door, actually this afternoon, to visit with some of the guys. I noticed that, boy, things are really tough over there. A lot of the guys that are lined up, if you will, trying to get medical attention, things of that nature, they are being taken care of, you know what I mean? But it's just sad to say that many of these guys, I spoke to a number of them, they were there for the first time looking for their benefits.
Oh.
For the first time.
Okay.
And then as you talk to them, they had not gone into and applied for those benefits early on.
Where should they go?
Well, first off, they should have gone early on. Some of these guys were Vietnam vets, They were Vietnam vets. In fact, I spoke to two of them that were Korean vets. You know what I mean? And that was the first time they were there. I mean,
they shouldn't wait until they're hurting to
that's
apply.
right. And in fact, one of them was being wheelchaired in by his wife. Okay, and then I talked to them at quite a length, and come to find out is that his wife would say that he would never talk about his time in the military, you know, in the war, the Korean War during that time. But then all of a sudden, you know, he'd gotten down to the point now that he needed medical attention, and so she convinced him that they should go to the hospital, to the VA hospital here in Portland, and that's where she was. She was there. She was checking in and things of that nature, and we chatted and all, and found out, in fact, yes, he had his DD-214 with him, and he, you know what I mean, and he basically said, I'm going here to get my benefits, if you will. And but the point I'm making is that, and I'm saying to those who are still not applying for their benefits, they should go.
Yeah,
they really should go. And if you don't have a companion like a wife, but you may have a friend, or you may have a relative, you would, in all due respect, you would take that person up there and apply for your benefits right then and there, and then by having this person with you, that person can also be included in your whole issue of rehabilitation.
Okay.
Because then they too could be a part. Whether if it's a wife, there's a Champers program, if you will, when you get in that deal. If you get to a certain percentage. They will treat you as if you were a retiree, so to speak, but they will also pay the spouse.
Okay.
And a lot of times, ways they're doing, they'll give them a small allowance on a monthly basis, and it will be applied to the veterans a check, and also they will, in some cases, there are some benefits to be had if their spouse, if you will, if you reach the 100% disabled. And whatever, there's schools and things of that nature. You can go to school, and the other thing is that they'll pick up. A lot of times the spouse is sitting right in the situation with the same thing. They're in the medical situation. She might be in medical, and they need help and whatever. But they'll pick up all her meds, pick all her medications, if you will.
Okay.
And that's kind of an interesting piece. So again, I'm sharing with you those who are looking and listening to what we are tonight. We want to make sure that we get that point across, because it's very, very, very important that you do. You
have to do something to get involved.
You have to do something to get involved.
Right.
But really pursue your benefits. And I will say to spouses that don't know or haven't heard about it, and your husband is ill or this, that, and the other, then if you do go to just a regular hospital for emergency or whatever, you would indicate to them that when they're talking to him, when she's trying to make arrangements to take her husband to the hospital, and maybe someone might pick him up, maybe it'd be the ambulance or whatever, to indicate to them that he or she is a veteran.
Right.
And then they will definitely take them up to the medical center here in Portland at that emergency room. And
up on the hill, so everybody is aware.
Right, on the hill there. And then that way they will make sure they will then take them to the medical facilities on the hill for the VA.
Right.
And at that point in time, what they will do then is that they'll take you in, but at the same time, they will then go through a process of signing you up for the services, so they can justifiably show that, in fact, that the person who they're providing these services is a veteran, if you will. That's part of the criteria. But during that same time, they'll be filling out that paperwork for other services. Person may need glasses. He may have problems hearing or something like that, or if not that, maybe other attention that they might need. You know what I'm saying? So it's important.
Okay.
You know, it's important, and so that's where I was today, and it was just kind of a somewhat saddened to a certain degree that a lot of these folks, but at least they were there. But there are many of them out there now, like many of you that are maybe looking at the program here that we're talking about now, is that and you're not, and my point is that you haven't gone out because you figured, well, I'm not old now enough that I'm a, but the fact of the matter is, you will be getting old. We all go through that
That's
point.
right.
We're going to all get to that particular point, and you're going to need those services. I might add another situation as it relates to that. I went to another veteran's house, and he was almost living like a hermit.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. I mean, it was terrible in terms of conditions that home was. Plus, back he was a besides being a vet, disabled vet, he was a homeless vet, so to speak. But he was living in his own home.
They don't have a woman.
They don't have a woman. That's right. They don't have any companionship or nothing to take care of this stuff. And stuff is just all over the place. And you'd be surprised at what the person was eating and things of that nature, and how he was eating, and how stuff was just left out, stuff like that. And he was a little embarrassed about letting me in, but I got in anyway.
Yeah.
I got in anyway to make him understand that he didn't have to live that way.
Should he? Is there someone you should call?
Well, I did. I called the VA.
Okay.
I called the VA and told him about this gentleman here and had him picked up.
Oh.
They had him picked up and took him down to the VA, and besides that, we were able to get him into a facility, in housing there at the VA. And we got him into that deal, and he's getting medical attention, and as you note in both facilities, they've got cafeterias.
Okay.
And so consequently, he had food there, and then he had lodging there, and it was just fantastic. And over in the Vancouver area too, same thing, just across the bridge here in Portland, in Washington, there's a facility over there, and they've got some real nice quarters over there where they house a number of veterans for housing.
Oh, okay.
Housing, and they got food there, and all their medical attention. It's all there.
Okay.
And so I want you to know that again too, for those who are again looking at the program that we're talking about right now, is that just pick up the phone and just ask for the VA. You know what I mean?
You think that some of the wars were tapering off, but there's still these veterans that need what they should get.
Right. And then I tell you something else too. Now this was one. It was a real sad one, and it brought tears to my eyes. But I knew this guy. I just won't put his name out there right now. I've asked to see whether or not I might be able to share with the public about who this person was. This particular veteran was living in his house, kind of like a hermit kind of a situation, and it was sad in terms of how he was living. Again, like the other person that I sort of mentioned. And but what's interesting about this person, he was a Marine, former Marine.
Oh, yeah.
he had been given and cited and given 2 silver stars.
Wow.
2 silver stars. I mean, that's one level.
Can you tell a little bit what are those for people?
For bravery, and in Vietnam. He was up in Vietnam.
Great.
And he was awarded the highest medal naturally is the Medal of Honor, and then the Silver Star is just one honor, if you will.
Yeah.
From the Medal of Honor. Okay. The Silver Stars, and there he was. You know what I mean? And the house was terrible. And again, besides just being a vet, you know what I mean, you would think that, again, he was getting some support, but really not quite a bit. You know what I mean? He was just by himself. Okay.
Yeah, that's no good.
But then the other side of the coin is that we have an agency here. It's called Multnomah County, and they've got a senior citizen component. That's one of the responsibilities, to basically reach out to all seniors and provide those services. And but yet and still, he wasn't getting those kind of services. Mm-hmm. You get me? So he was on both ends. He wasn't getting them to a certain degree. He wasn't getting them at Multnomah County as far as their senior citizen programs, nor was he getting them from as a veteran, the veteran program. And I guess, and the point I'm making is like anything else, the system itself, the system is that, the outreach is of a concern that I've had when I saw those conditions. You got me?
Okay.
You know, and evidently both of these individuals I'm talking about had both gone to the hospitals once before for issues, right? You got me?
Okay.
And you would think that system would be, if they go to whatever hospital outside of the VA system,
Yeah.
unlike the one that I told you about, I shared with you, that basically said, okay, you're a veteran, and then all of a sudden they send him over to the VA. See what I'm saying? But a lot of folks don't know that.
Oh, okay.
They don't know that. So if you got a loved one and they get sick and you know that they are a veteran,
Yeah.
the veteran, tell the hospital that they are a veteran. And then the whole idea is to let them transport that person to the VA.
Okay.
That's a very, very important piece. Got me?
All right.
And if you have doubt about the fact that they can't service them, let them make that decision when they get through over there. When they get over there.
Okay.
Because rightfully, any as far as I'm concerned, everybody's a veteran or whatever. They've got a problem, and if they haven't signed up, they will sign them up there. Got me? But take care of that veteran first.
Yeah, that's right.
Get them to that hospital. This person is a veteran. I want to take my husband or my cousin or my boyfriend or my whatever. I want them taken to the medical center of the VA.
Oh, okay.
And and I'm not trying to say that, no, don't pay the bill if they don't have the money. But the bottom line is they don't, regardless, because as you know, under the law, they can't say no to you.
Right. Okay.
See? But some of the hospitals do, right? But they give you a cab money and then you got to go.
I have heard of they're trying to push people away. I do know that.
Right.
It can break these hospitals.
Well, big time, and in fact, that's why it's so costly right now. We're still having to deal with a great illegal problem. Got me?
Yeah.
And they're granted medical attention, straight up with you, and that's another issue. We can talk about that on another situation, but in all due respect, many folks that are residing here are not getting the service because they don't have the medical. Mm-hmm. And then then only got another line where people who, in all due respect, they were legal across the board, and then they were able to get the system provides for them. And we're still there. That's the politics that we're facing right now, and they're talking about this from a national perspective. That's right in the presidential race. That's a different ballgame. But what I'm talking to are the veterans that are out there. The veterans, the services are there for you. There for you. You don't have to argue this point. Even if you have a companion, take them to the hospital, to the VA. If they got a DD 214, that's a certificate that basically said that in fact you were in the military, in the service. Your name, rank, and serial number is all there. And your serial number is on the computer.
It's a Social Security number.
Yes, that's what it is.
Right.
It's a Social Security number now. So the name of the game is that it's there, and they can check you out, and they can start this proceeding. So that's a very important piece. So those are the kinds of people that I was talking to today.
Okay.
And it was an eye opener. I knew it was an eye opener. But the fact of the matter is, we're not reaching out enough. And I'm talking about the federal government now.
How do we locate them?
Well, in all due respect, maybe within the system, when a person, like for instance, like housing, when you're paying your taxes or something, and there are benefits, by the way, for veterans. Yeah, there are benefits that the county provides to a veteran on their home, of course, for tax purposes. And I think it's 10% or something like that. But the fact of the matter is, they get a discount off the deal. Well, when they do that, when they enter, as far as I'm concerned, when you enter that name in this universal computer, put that names and ID in there, aspect of it, that person will automatically be registered with the VA. Mm-hmm. See? And then the VA then would say, okay, look up the person's record, the fact that they were in the service, and then it's okay, fine. And then if the person been ill or is in the hospital, they can then check that out and say, oh, wait, wow, this person is not in the system that said that they're using the services.
Yeah.
And then when they do that, they will call up to the VA and then i.e. send the person some letters or this, that, and the other, and reach out to get that veteran to pick them up, so to speak, pick them up and take them down to the VA.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's a whole lot. What I'm.
See what I'm saying? Because, like I said, these things are happening every day.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and thinking about another piece that everybody's been talking about, which is I won't be making a difference between apples and oranges or whatever, but the bottom line is that homelessness is a key issue here right now politically.
Yeah.
In the city of Portland, in the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of folks are doing all kinds of things to respond to that. Sometimes not in an organized fashion, because we've been counting these people out there on the streets for years.
Yeah.
And you would think that when they are counting these people, a lot of times they all have Social Security numbers. If you're still living,
okay,
you got a Social Security number.
Right.
And with that Social Security number, that's an ID number
right.
for the VA. Got me?
That's right. That's
See?
what they use.
So again, thinking about all the money that is being asked from taxpayers, that they need more money to deal with the issue of homelessness.
Right.
Okay? And they always give you a number. I'm talking about these agencies give you numbers to justify their existence. Well, there's 20,000 on the street. And then another entity might say, well, there's 15,000 on the street.
Oh, yeah.
And what did you do? Well, we actually put those, we figured them out. We checked with them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, when you put that form together and put that name there and their Social Security number,
right,
you would know whether or not a person is a veteran or not.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So then that person goes in the master computer. Got me? So
Okay.
then a letter, when the letter gets shot out there to them, and maybe at that point in time, they will tell them you're a veteran. You have benefits to be had, and here are the regulations, and here's the criteria for you as far as getting those services.
Okay.
And then you sign up, whatever, and then they will just basically go through a do and don't do list. Got me? What you can get, what you can't get.
I just wanted to mention that when I call, they ask, are you thinking of suicide? That always seems to be a part of it. They're always concerned about that.
Right.
And remember, we had someone on here, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
This man was very helpful, talking about how he handled cases.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, that's a good point you make, because that normally that's the 911 number that you can call to the VA.
No, if you call any number at VA, they're going to ask you that. Now, I don't know.
No, but when they ask you, but if a person knows about this number, just like the civilians that are looking at it at this point in time, and a lot of times they may see someone that they know is a veteran.
Yeah.
And they're having some problems.
Okay.
Whether it be mental illness or this, that, and the other, they can then say, okay, fine, they can call that number.
411. I mean,
no, it's not.
911.
It's not a 911 number.
Oh, it's something else.
I'll pull this out. Yeah, it's a different number. I'll be pulling it out while we're talking, but I've got one of the numbers here with me.
Okay.
It's a VA number.
All right.
And you just call that number. In fact, I've got it on my phone. I'll just go on and pull it off since we are here talking about this piece, which is a very important piece, right? Yeah, this is a very, very, very important piece, and so I want to make sure that we get that number. Let's see, we got a contact number. Okay, VA. Okay, VA national number. Here's right here.
They had.
It's 1-800.
Yeah.
273-8259. Is that
one.
Is that it right there? I didn't get my glasses on right there.
Yeah.
What number is that?
And you think I got better eye? 55.
55?
I thought it was because I remember it from today.
Okay, 1-800.
And you push 1.
8255, right.
And then push 1.
Push 1.
Right.
And someone will get on that line and you can talk to them about everything.
Oh, okay.
You can talk to them about everything. So remember that number. That's a very important number.
Right.
But like I said, we still have some major problems
right.
for vets out there. But I will say one thing, boy, the services are great. The services are really great.
Right.
A lot of folks don't feel. So you might have just a little inkling or whatever, but there were a couple of guys that were in there that were saying, "Well, gee whiz, I'm not getting rent," but I said, "You're here." They were there, right?
Okay, right.
And so they're going to get some service, and then a lot of times these ombudsmen or the folks who are there, sort of meet them at the door, so to speak,
Right.
will always have the answers as to will be able to deal with a veteran.
So you're trying to talk about homeless, and that includes some veterans too.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So I'm just saying we're starting it off right now, and like I said, it's working. The system is working. But another piece they've got is that burial rights. They've got a beautiful program in terms of how they deal with folks who all of a sudden they leave us,
Mm-hmm.
And we got Willamette National Cemetery up in the Clackamas area, and it didn't cost anything. When they'll provide the entire burial package, so to speak, and when you'll be given the respect as far as ceremonies. They will identify with any military with that respective color guard.
Mm-hmm.
See, so if you're Army, they got an Army color guard that will deal with that. Mm-hmm. If you're Navy, if you're Air Force, they got color guards that actually, full scale, the color guard itself, and the burial situation.
Okay.
And a very neat area, and if you look at that cemetery, it's well kept. It's well kept. And you can go and visit that your loved one anytime you want to.
Yeah,
it's really a neat situation that they have over there. You got me?
That's right. Some cemeteries are closed.
Exactly.
Montgomery County, I think,
exactly
closes it.
Exactly. So that gives you a feel for. I guess that's what we want to chat a little bit about, that particular piece. Now coming home.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. In fact, we can start off with homeless because, in fact, homeless is really the top issue in the entire state.
Well, they're trying to do that $300 million,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about putting that off, which is fine, putting it off till November. It sure is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Plus the fact, I guess,
To be able to spend any way you want.
right. Well, see, that I appreciate what you're saying, because I have a problem with the city of Portland, and in all due respect, the mayor, because I've been up there again several times to try to get them to give up the numbers in terms of where did the money go, the first set of money, because the first big part of money was between the county and the city. The county put money in the pot, the city had the money in the pot, and the whole idea they were going to respond to the homeless issue,
Right.
especially housing, right? You got me? And but the question is still being asked by the city and the county for more money for the homeless. Which homeless are you talking about? Okay?
And if it's just to build and say, here's some housing, I don't know.
Well, the housing is not for the homeless, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, the housing is, in all due respect, maybe for high tech or folks who are working.
Okay.
Because they've got to pay the rent.
Right.
They got to pay the rent.
Okay.
Many of these folks can't afford the rent, not at that level, if you will. You got me?
Okay.
They're not working. They might be receiving Social Security or some small pension, but it's not enough, if you will, to get in the housing that is being promoted by the city.
Okay.
And meaning that these are the people that are getting the permits to build the housing.
Okay.
It's not their fault. It's just that if they get a permit from the city that basically talks to high rent and this, that, and the other, it's not their fault. They'll build a facility because that's the only way they can build a facility. They have to package the deal. They can go to a bank and say, okay, fine, I got the plans here, and this, that, and the other to build this building, and this is how much it's going to cost, and they'll give them a percentage of the gross what it costs, and then that's how they build the building, and then after they get through building the building, the person on the other end who owns the building, whether it be another corporation or a group or individuals or whatever, will say, okay, fine, here's my rent. This is what I have to charge in order to get paid back.
Right.
That's what it's all about. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when they talk about homelessness, we might be talking about some of the facilities that they have here in town. The one of which is Homer Williams. That's one that's a guy right in the middle of town. You know, that's the one that unit they just built, so to speak, not too long.
When you build more houses, you take the pressure away and make it easier for people to get into housing,
right.
inexpensive housing.
But that's not the homeless.
Okay.
See, the homeless is a different situation. I don't think we're addressing my point is that we need an audit. Because the taxpayers now are being asked again, like you said, the $300 million, and in fact, I think Metro told the mayor to wait. I saw that in the Tribune the other day, to wait putting this so-called another what's the funding source when they're looking for a bond? Mm-hmm. He was looking for more money.
Okay, right.
For homelessness, and Metro was coming out. They were already with one that they were asking for more money for some homelessness and this, that, and the other. Well, where's the money going to come from?
That's right.
So the key is, I think, before they do anything,
it's going to come from taxes.
Yeah, we need to know where is the money, all the money that was spent for homelessness. The public needs to know where did the money go.
Okay.
And for what purposes. You got me? Right? We should know that.
Yes.
And until we know that, I don't think we should be supporting in any kind of bonding measure at this point in time. Until they can physically, they're supposed to show that information. We do have auditors that are both working for both the city and the county.
Okay.
But still pretty well controlled by whether it be the chair of the county and or the mayor of the city. Right? You get me? And they don't want to share that information with you. You get me?
That's right.
So this new so-called bond measure that the mayor is trying to push, as far as I'm concerned, it should not be supported. We shouldn't support that until we see those numbers.
Yeah, and because if it's going to go against your taxes, then it's going to go against your rent, and you need to know.
Right. You
need to know.
And then especially if you're a homeowner, you're going to have to pay a little bit more.
That's right.
Got me?
Well.
And when you pay more, you got to start thinking about, well, okay, fine, that might be a senior citizen living there or a senior citizen couple. And they're living on the limited income.
Okay.
They're not in a position, if you will. They're not working anymore, right? You got me?
Okay.
And so consequently, every dime that they get, they pretty well speculated that whole deal throughout. They'll how to pay this, and then all of a sudden here comes another bill because you own real estate. See what I'm saying? It means that you don't have no choice.
Okay.
It's just a tax that is implemented on you. And right up front with it, for those of you who are out there and you listen and say, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about, well, then fine. We invite you to come to the show.
Oh, yeah.
Bring the paperwork with you.
Okay.
And then we can just share it. You will educate us.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, will that be okay with you, Rich?
Okay.
Just bring them to the table. You can, and I'm saying to the mayor and to the county chair, in all due respect, Mayor Wheeler and County Chair Kafori, and she's doing a heck of a job. It's a tough job. But please, the city, we're going to be going out with these new bond measures, and then Metro need to be in part of this deal too, because they're asking for money. Again, asking for money. I just so happened that the gentleman that was on the board, who's running for city council, a gentleman by the name of Chase.
Okay.
So I would say to him, he texted me about a month ago, and indicated that he was going to be doing that. So he's going to be running for office. I think it's going to be for Fitz seats, former Commissioner Fitz, and so he works for Metro, and it'll be a good interview. So we'd like to invite you. We'd like to invite you to come over to
That's right. There's a whole list of people running.
Right.
For all this stuff.
And that's the key to those folks who are registering to run for office. I would still say to all of them, make sure you bring something to the table. You know, these are not fun and games anymore right now. We got some serious issues on the table. And homeless is a very key, major piece, because these are human beings. You know, and I guess the thing that really gets me is that we treat, in all due respect, we treat animals, cats and dogs and other animals, far better than we treat human beings in this city, in this county. And they come under the deal called homelessness. And it's not about just basically during the winter getting a couple of blankets that you might have bought down at Goodwill or you picked up for free, and then driving by in a car and then throw them up in the front of the homeless folks that are sitting out there sleeping on the sidewalks and things of that nature. You got me?
Yeah.
You know, they need to be picked up and put into some situation where it's a good housing situation, so to speak. You know, not one where you got a whole bunch of people just like cattle cars, like a cattle car, just a bunch of cattle all in one spot, and not clean. You know what I'm saying? The food situation is poor aspect of it, the whole deal. I mean, I bring that up because I noticed that there was a woman that was testifying before one of the meetings down at not Metro, but Multnomah County.
Okay.
Her name was Maggie, and she's a kind of an activist, and she's always there talking about issues as it relates to the county. And she, in all due respect, she pretty well, she was living in one of those quarters where you got multi folks that are living in it, homeless kind of folks, and she pretty well took most of her clothes off. You know what I mean? And she was showing the people across the board, right in front of the commissioner, right there at one of their meetings, and she had bed bugs.
Oh.
She was bitten all over the place.
Okay.
All red spots all over, just bed bugs, and she was complaining about all the bed bugs. Well, the first thing I thought about, well, if you got all these folks, everybody's got bed bugs in there. It has to be clean. So then you start looking at that, you know, in terms of solutions, because that's, in all due respect, that's where I'm at. You know, that's one of the reasons why I'm running, because I want to make sure, if anything, I want to excite folks about what's going on.
Right.
I want to tell them what's going on. It's not about winning or losing. It's about, these are the issues that these candidates, I want them to know. If they don't know about it, I want to share it with them. That's the whole idea. So, but the bottom line is that, think about this. Woman sitting up there in a complex where she's living with other individuals.
Okay.
And she's got bed bugs, and she's showing the folks. Now, I called up the county, and they said, oh, Bruce, we're going to be taking care of it. I still haven't heard anything back in terms of what happened to the woman.
You're probably going to have to make the call.
You understand what I'm saying? What's happening with her? And then the other thing, think about it. Now, if she's got the bed bugs, right?
Right.
And she's coming to the county to make her statement about the bed bugs, right? Well, excuse the French, if she's sitting there in the chairs and this, that, and the other, what do you think these bed bugs are? Flying all over the place, right? Okay. Are you understanding where I'm coming from?
I know what you're trying to say.
You see, I'm just being straight up.
Everybody understands.
Yeah, right. They need to see. My point is that they were supposed to make sure that they took care of her. She shouldn't have had to be able to come up and start saying, "I got a problem."
That's right.
That should have been taken care of at that facility.
Okay.
Okay, and we're paying for that. As far as the public is concerned, we're paying for that. We're paying an entity which is called Multnomah County. That's one of their services they're providing. Okay. That's their job, to make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
And then I think about, when I thought about that too at the same time, she took all her clothes off, so to speak. I mean, that she didn't expose her up or whatever, but she was a female, and they told her naturally, they tried to rush her out of there real quick, like, and say, well, look, we can put your clothes back on, and then the chair basically said, somebody please talk to her.
Yeah,
right. You see what I mean? Well, that's always the case. But the key is that I want to know what the results. I'm a taxpayer. I'm paying the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know. I want to see this woman in the front of them. And how soon will they show this woman again?
Oh, cured.
Cured.
Right.
Totally cured. Okay. You got me. And so that's why I brought this up about animals, because if you go down to Multnomah County Humane Society, sure. They take care of those animals.
Oh yeah.
When they pick them up, they go through a process, clean them up, wash them, the whole 9 yard, feed them the whole 9 yard.
And they virtually, I believe, none are destroyed.
That's right. That's right.
We had someone on here on the show here.
That's right.
Telling us.
That's right. See, so that's where I'm coming from on that end. Then the other thing is that comes to mind is that, okay, with the clothing, with all the bed bugs and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
You would think, now, if it was me, and I would have been in the chair, and something like that has happened, I would have cleaned up right there to a certain degree. I said, okay, fine. We're going to go and we're going to go on and pick you up some clothes.
Okay.
And might use it maybe at Goodwill or something. Have some vouchers type things.
Oh, all right.
Because they should be a part of the process too.
Okay.
Because that stuff is given to them. And I hate to put it this way, but you go down to Goodwill and you sometimes you think you're in Maxie's or something because it costs you so much just to buy clothes that was given to them. You understand what I mean?
Wonder, would that have been on the news, do you think, or
Well,
it's not that big a deal?
Hopefully we can get it now. That's what we're talking about. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
But my point is
this is news.
Yeah, this is news right now. The point of the matter is she should have been given some clean clothes.
Okay.
And destroyed the others.
Fine.
Or put it in the washing machine somewhere if they want to. But in all due respect, by that particular time, that goes in a recycle bin.
Okay.
That makes sense? You get me?
Right. Okay.
A recycle bin. But give her good, clean clothes. Mm-hmm. Let a physician look at her and make sure she's been either given medications or given a good shower, get bath routine. Got me? And then to a certain degree, quarantine that place.
Need stuff, yeah.
Yeah, quarantine that place. Get all of the homeless out of there and clean that place up right away.
Okay.
Right away. I mean, bring contractors come in there and clean that place out, wash it. But that night, it should be ready for folks to reoccupy.
Right. They have to go back to where she was.
Exactly. Or if not that, right. Find another temporary position. And I'm not talking about a temporary housing situation where all of a sudden someone jumps up and says, "Well, we need more money."
Oh yeah, that's right.
We need more money. Well, okay. Well, you need more money. All right. You put the bond out, but during that time with the bond, the people are still living in that infested area, right?
Yeah, right.
You see, we got a problem.
That's right. That's a problem.
That's a problem. Now, I said to myself, well, fine. Well, who knows what's going on? Well, I used to work for United Way.
Oh,
remember
okay.
we had that facility?
Yeah.
This organization, United Way. And it was working perfectly. Why? Because they were the one that raised the funds, but in the process of raising the funds, they had already done a sort of an auditing situation to find out what were the needs of the city of Portland.
Okay.
Then they would tell the public as a whole, okay, we got United Way, these are the needs. These are the things that we need.
All right.
Blah, blah, blah. We either need clothing, or we need housing, just subsidize whatever, to pay rent or whatever. And then they tell, if you will, the public.
Right.
And the public contribute, whether it be on the jobs or anywhere, they contribute to the United Way. And they're the ones then that would basically go out and put the contract out to a reliable source.
Okay.
That they in fact are supervising, right? Said, okay, fine, we're going to give you this much money to solve this problem over here, problem A.
Right.
Now they're working, right? They're working. So they solve the problem. And for the money that they get, and they're doing the supervision, and then they come back to us and say, this is what we've done.
Okay.
You can't do it with someone that don't have any background. We already have agencies like that. We had these entities that are out there. Where are they now today? Well, guess what? Some of them are having to go out of business, or if not that,
some stop getting money.
Some stop getting money.
I see that.
Because guess what? We started giving the money to the bond.
That's right.
See,
you never know which way it's going to go.
Don't know where it's going to go. See, so that's an area that I want to look at and say, okay, where does the money go? And that's what and I'm just asking. This is not about being a troublemaker or whatever. The fact of the matter is, we are asking the folks that we're paying to represent us to be responsible and do just some of the things I'm talking about.
That's right. That's right.
And that to me looks just like common sense. They can just open up the books 10, 15 years ago, and there it is. Go down to United Way and say, United Way, what do you do today?
Yeah, right.
Can you handle this? Sisters of the Roses, and I know you hear them every so often about certain folks and whatever, and then you're still seeing people out on the streets. That wasn't there at one point in time in Portland.
I think about all these things you're talking about. At the same time, I'm thinking we still have potholes and problems here trying to get around in the city. And you can't. It's hard to get everything.
I know.
But you just have to keep working with the
You got to stay on top of it.
It's an important thing.
That's why I'm saying that's why it's so important that we seriously look at what we're doing this time around.
Yeah.
In all due respect, we got the presidential run at this point in time, and he's opened up the door for a lot of things. Everybody gets angry at him or whatever, but the fact of the matter is, it's not the him you're talking about; it's the issues. That's what I'm interested in. Got me the issues.
Okay.
Our solutions. So we got the same solutions here. We got people running for office, and they're talking to that. In all due respect, on both ends. There should have been some sort of an orientation period. When
you know, if I was a person running for office, like mayor, I would be contacting us.
Yes.
Say, do you have a place for me to come on the show?
Yes. Yes.
And just.
Yes. Yes. And we
should be happening.
We put the word out right now on that piece. But at the same time, I'm saying to the folks who are already sitting there, like the mayor and some of the commissions and whatever, especially the mayor and the chair with the county, because I'm talking about the city of Portland, and I'm talking city of Portland right now, and naturally the county takes up 1/4 of that, right? You got me? Because there are 4 different districts. They're districtized. Okay, district number 2 from the county, the majority of that is the city of Portland.
Okay.
Then the others got Gresham and got all the other areas or whatever. But the point I'm making is that what I'm saying is that there should have been some kind of an educational piece on the front end before a person runs. These are the issues that we have in Portland. Prioritize them. And then they'll say, fine, we're looking folks to run for office and to address these issues.
Right.
You might have some others.
That's right.
Other things that can improve the city, but at least have something in your resume.
We need to know.
In your resume.
That's right.
And then what you do when you file to run for office, you got to bring those resumes in
that you would want to do.
That you want to do, and then we put those on the table and say you running for so and so.
Okay.
Just like with the mayor deal, you running for the mayor. Well, this is what you got to do, and then you put it in that piece, in that pot, and then and it's a voluntary deal. Got me? But you put that piece in there, and then at the end of the day, they say, okay, fine, we got a certain period of time, we're going to allow people to file, put the paperwork in. Then at the end of that day, we're going to come up with an orientation piece.
Okay.
Where all those folks will attend a kind of a class that will educate them about specifics of the issues that were put on the table that they're running for. Now, not just, quote, leave them out in the cold.
Right.
Let them know where we are on these issues right now. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about the folks that are on the streets. Okay, well, what do we know about that? This, and this, that, and the other. So then, now they're ready. They got the orientation piece aspect of it. Then the rest of it is going out there and knocking on doors and letting the other people see who you are. To me, that's a plan.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a plan. And we're not doing that. I mean, I knocked on this mayor's door again. Mayor Wheeler, I knocked on his door, and they told me he's about 5 or 6 months out before you can see him, Bruce. I said, really? You see, and I'm not taking anything away from the mayor. You know, the mayor, as far as I'm concerned, he has every right to want to run again because we all wearing 2 hats, right?
Okay.
He's sitting in that chair, but he's the one that's supposed to be dealing with the issues.
Right.
At that point in time. Now, if he wants to run, he's over here, but he's got to be just like anyone else. Got me? But naturally, it's unfortunately, we have these issues, and because he can't address them, people out there are running, so he's basically now just responding to, guess what? The political piece.
Okay.
So he's calling up bureau chiefs and everybody else and says, okay, fine, what have you done this past 6 months?
Right.
And put that in a nice piece and give that to me.
Oh, okay.
Let's take some pictures of what some of the things you've done, John and Mary, and
okay.
You know,
show some proof.
Show some proof. But these are the things that has happened since I've been here.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, well, okay, now you want to run again for the incumbent, okay? You're running as an incumbent. I'm looking at this piece.
Okay.
Okay? And the other folks are saying, well, look, I don't even have access to that. Why should he be able to just talk about all the good things, the so-called good things he's done. Just address the issues.
Right.
We've always said the priorities. If it's homeless issues, then bang. This is what I've done with the issues, but this is what I plan to do beyond that point.
Okay.
Not what you've done before, because it ain't working. Right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It ain't working. So I would say that, and this is not just being sort of an activist. This is real world stuff. I'm a taxpayer too.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to know where the money's going.
Somehow, some way, we all are paying taxes for all the things that are happening here.
And it really hits hard on senior citizens, big time.
Huh.
Because they worked all their lives, if you will, to pay off that home. And you never pay off the home because you're constantly paying you're paying just to stay there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because then the taxes goes up because they got other things. It's like anything else. Everybody pays rent when you live when you live in this in an era like we're living in right now.
Okay.
Everybody pays rent.
One way or another,
Yes.
you pay to be there.
Yeah. So you would think that at the end of the day, when you start getting beyond 65 or 70 years old, your rent you're paying low rent.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Okay.
so that the benefit of your retirement and things of that nature, that's built into
It
that.
just can't be too high.
It can't be too high,
Right.
because otherwise you can't live. You gotta have an income to live
Right.
with, right? So that's all part of that deal. But today, the poor people that just run out because they'll do a eminent domain on you sometimes. An eminent domain means that if they want to build an apartment complex and it takes 2 blocks, they'll just go in there and say, well, okay, fine, we're going to give you fair market value for your place. And you got to go. You have no choice.
Yeah, they do that.
They do that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They do that. Or if they do it another way, they say, well, okay, fine, we're going to give you maybe $500,000 for it. But then you got to pay taxes for it if you don't reinvest it in the same house.
Oh, oh, right.
You see what I'm saying? You got me? So at the end of the day, you'd be better off staying where you are. You got a lot of folks that are hurting like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I mean, that's the truth of it all, folks. And if you notice, we're having a discussion, but this is a very serious discussion.
Well, sure.
We want you to get around the table and think about it. We're doing it here on Oregon Voters Digest, but then I'm asking the other media, if you will, to do the same thing. But many of those folks don't, and I'll be right front with the reporters, they do the best they can. But if you haven't been doing it yourself with your hands, you really can't explain it as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is community television. Fortunately for us, we have
right.
community. Fortunately for us, it is community television, but naturally it's not being publicized just like commercial. We're still having a problem getting our shows
I'll tell you,
through the media.
when I'm watching other television, I go to all the community cable access stations, one after the other, just to see what's going on.
Yep.
Sometimes there's some really interesting
Good stuff. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And we should be in the newspaper, if you will.
Yeah.
And some announcement aspect of it. And so that's just another issue.
Well,
But I thought maybe we wanted to talk about something like that.
we've covered veterans again,
Right.
reminding
Right.
them to do something about their benefits, to go make contact, especially the ones that have not waited too late to get taken care of. Like you had seen.
Right. And like I said, one could just blast out as part of the agencies, if you will, take an agency, like a county agency, or even the VA to a certain degree. But the VA is there to provide the services, but have all entities that are either caretakers or anything of that nature, send them a letter saying, I want to know, ask this question, how many veterans are in your facility? And send that information over here to the VA.
Okay.
You got me?
All right.
Reach out to all those organizations that are out there and say, do you have any veterans living in your facility?
Yeah.
Whether it be senior citizen care or anything like that.
Okay.
And that way they can just run. They got their IDs through the Social Security, right? They got their IDs. They can look up the record and tell whether or not they got a problem. They can tell whether or not you've been in Vietnam or Korea or whatever. They got the record. It's sitting on that master computer. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's another way of really getting to the veterans. There's no reason why we can't touch bases with every veteran in this town.
That's right. I don't.
It shouldn't be an issue. We don't need another agent. We don't need another contract, another government to do that piece,
They
right?
should realize they just all they need to do is call for help.
Yep.
That's all they need to do.
That is the issue. So we, like I said, we've talked about the veterans on the other end, and then we've talked a little bit about the about the elections that are happening here within the city. You know, get our city roses back, so to speak. We got a lot of issues here, and we've been discussing them. And realistically, we're still inviting. We're inviting anybody that have registered to run for mayor or the city of Portland. Please, we welcome you on this show.
That's right. That's what we're trying to tell them.
And you know, and it's not an embarrassment. You know, this is community television. People want to know who you are.
Yeah.
We don't need an artificial individual.
And where I got that name, all the names.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I didn't bring it in here.
Yep. All the names.
There must have been, what, 10 names running for.
Yep.
And you only get that by looking in a community paper.
Yep.
It seems like.
Yep.
So
but maybe next time that's what we'll do. We'll make sure that we bring the names next time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we want to make sure that we continue doing what we're doing.
Right.
Because it's going to be very important. We try to educate them so that when you get that voting pamphlet, and when you get that that voter's guide, if you will, that voter's guide, which is a commercial piece,
that comes out, coming up pretty
it comes
soon,
out too, aspect of it. But really, in all due respect, it's not as factual as you think it might be. Get my point?
Okay.
You know, and most people want to see the individual. They want to know. They want to see that resume.
Right.
See?
Okay.
See, that voter's guide, that voter's pamphlet, it's not a. It's not a.
That's right.
A resume per se.
A person running for office has to have something talking about themselves.
Real world as it relates to the issues, you know.
Right.
You know, just like our studio boss over there. Look at him. He's doing a heck of a job in there, but he knows.
That's right.
He knows what he's doing. You know, sometimes I have a little problem with. I figured, you know,
we wouldn't have a show without him.
And he's pointing at us now, right now. Say we got about a minute to go. See.
Yeah. Oh,
see.
That's
So
right.
so you may have to start running it now. I'm going to sit back and.
Oh yeah. No.
You want any lasting comments?
No. I think I'm glad I covered this stuff. This lady is leading a U.S. Army Infantry Division is in a Toastmaster meeting.
Awesome.
Toastmaster club. That's very encouraging. You know, professional speakers
right.
have their own Toastmaster club.
Right.
And I suppose they really can be kind of merciless when they evaluate.
But join the military.
Well, that's true.
They can join the military.
Okay.
Women can join, and the whole 9 yards. Very beneficial for a career, right? You got me?
That's right.
You got about 20 seconds now.
I want to.
Real quick, like. You want anything else? We can.
No.
That's about the size of it?
No,
I'll just say.
we're pretty much through, so we're going to see them next month.
Yep, good.
Frankly.
And tune in to Oregon Voters Digest.
That's right.
We're going to have some more candidates. Voters Digest on
4
Sunday.
o'clock on
4 to
Sunday.
5, Channel 11.
That's right.
All YouTube.